Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to install Terraspace with the Homebrew package for Mac OS. The docs for that are right here. Click on docs, then you go to install standalone Mac OS. So under Mac OS here, there's command brew install --cast BoltOps tools software Terraspace, and that's pretty much it. There's just one command and you have basically a working version of Terraspace. And then you do want to change the ownership of the op Terraspace folder here, because that's where Terraspace is installed to via this standalone package. And what Homebrew does is it uses sudo to write to this directory. So this directory is owned by root, and we don't want that. We want that to be owned by your user. So then so Terraspace and bundle and gems can install in here without you having to always be prompted. So I do want to point out that if you have a working version of Ruby, then that meets the requirements. Then you should actually just go gem install Terraspace. I think that's easier. But this is another option for people who don't have a working version of Ruby. The reason I point that out is this installer is going to write to user local bin some wrapper files like bundle, gem, rspec, and Terraspace and Ruby. Those are just some examples. But it's going to write those wrappers so then essentially Terraspace is immediately working. If you have like user local bin like Ruby there, then it's going to overwrite those files, okay? Just so you know, that's a caveat. If you don't like that behavior, then you can always export ts_wrappers equals 0, and then that's not going to regenerate the wrappers. But then you do have to set up your path yourself. That's mainly what I want to cover, so now I'll just show you how to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this command right here, go to my terminal. Oh, and before I do that, I just want to show you my current working version of Ruby. See, this is the system version of Ruby that's installed as 2.6. It's not what I want. I want at least 2.7. So that's not going to work. So we're going to just use the Homebrew package. And I also just want to show you that Terraspace is also not installed yet. So now I'm going to paste this brew install cast BoltOps tool software Terraspace. And I'm going to run that. So it's updating Homebrew right now. And then it's going to normally download the Terraspace cast. Here is saying it's R download because I tested this, so it's just using the cache right there. And then here it prompts us for sudo right here. So I just have to type my password in. Okay, and now that's going to basically install Terraspace in op/Terraspace, and everything it's included that Terraspace needs to work in there, and including system libraries, including the Ruby, including the gems and everything. And so now everything has been installed successfully. I do want to emphasize you should change the ownership to yourself here. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. Sudo who I am, legal name. Oh, this might be because I'm going to switch to bash here just to make it easier for everyone. But I was using the fish shell, so that's why it was doing that. Now I'm going to go back to fish. Okay. So anyway, fish shell has a different notation than the notation for fish. If for the curious is just like this to do it. So I could have done that too. But anyway, I did both ways, so it's just so you can see. So now the ownership is now my user, and now Terraspace should be working. So we just go Terraspace version -v for version. So you're gonna see the version here. There you go. So there's a working version of Terraspace, and then you could do even -help for all the help commands. So it should spit out a bunch of help commands. And then that's basically a working version of Terraspace. And like I said, it generates those wrappers, so be aware of that. But essentially, that's a pretty easy way to install Terraspace if you don't have a version. Oh, now I should show you the Ruby version that has been installed now is 2.7, because if you do type, it's the wrapper one that's embedded in that op Terraspace folder now. But that's it. Hopefully that was helpful. Cheers.